Welcome to my multi-lib Linux from scratch podcast. This will be following my building of Linux from scratch. I have so far satisfied the host requirements, building LFS in stages, created the new partition, created the file system, mounting the new partition and setting the LFS variable, and I've downloaded the packages and patches. We'll also be creating the directory layout, adding the user, setting up the environment, as well as installing binutils, GCC, Linux headers, glibc, and the lib standard library. And that will be this video. I have just cloned the Linux from scratch book into the repository, which is actually in here. I've already created a temporary drive here, which is virtual disk, Volt B. I've already set up the file systems using the makefs, which is right here. Creating new partition, creating file systems, setting the LFS variable, and I've already mounted the file systems. As you can tell, string LFS is there, and it's ready to go. I will also be using my zbuild function, which I've created in C++. Here I've already downloaded the wget list systemd file. And we're just going to copy and paste this. I've already set up the directory and this name of file. And let's start downloading the packages. And there we go. It's downloading. It's going to take quite a bit. After this, we're going to make the MD5 check. And of course, own the sources directory. As you can see, this is downloading. It's going to take a while. Okay, as you can see, we've finished downloading all the packages. I'm going to just download, push D into the source file first. And we're going to download the MD5 sum. I have to change this because this is running a local web server. Local IP. D5-C, MD5 sums. We're going to run the check. And as you can see, okay, this must be using an old version of expect that was updated to something else. So they haven't fixed that. Alright. Let me check that out. Okay, apparently there might have been something wrong with the wget list systemd file I used from the Git repository. I had to locate the patch, which is on the downloads expect site for Linux from scratch. Just change that to there. So I'm going to remove this one because that one does not work. It's probably not in the LFS development. X, yes. And when I do, we have the expect patch is okay, and it is the 15.1. And I've already popped back. I'm just gonna chown that, and this is just a list of all packages. needed patches. I'm going to be setting up my zbuild configuration. I'm going to be setting this up to set up with sources there. Just copy and paste all this. Root dir will be zbuild. I call my stuff zbuild. One will be also zbuild /temp. Same for this one. zbuild/log. And then I will have to create these two directories, temp and log. And just save that. Temp and log. And there we go. Create a list, and there we have our configuration set up. If I run zbuild right now, it's just going to error out. Say error package file does not exist. We won't be able to do that until we move on to creating the limited directory structure. I'm just going to copy these instead of creating bash scripts. B, and there we go. And let's copy that. Create our structure as well as the tools directory. And let's go list our LFS directory. As you can see, we have created lib32, libx32, and all that stuff ready for that. Let's create our LFS user. .3. Let's just give him a password. Just because we have to, and we're just going to go. It's updated. This is not really necessary for the fails dictionary check because this is in a QEMU environment and will probably not be used after this because LFS is just a temporary user for this build. Let's continue copying. I've changed the ownership. What I haven't done is we do this. Also add the zbuild directory. So that now LFS has access to all these paths and only these paths. And let's and of course there is no environment. Now we're going to be setting up the environment. And let's just copy over some of these profiles for our LFS user, including this. We have our three targets set up. And next, we're not going to set these make flags. Oh, should set this up. The jproc is a shortcut to get the number of processors from the system. And now let's just source the profile. And if we clear here and do an environment, we can just check the environment, and the environment is pretty clean, which is what you want to do when you're building Linux from scratch. Is you want this very limited. This just explains the system units. You know, for every pass, it just has an SBU. It's based off of the binutils package for timing, how long it takes. To test suite, and next is building our cross chain. Right now, we're going to be starting with 5.2 binutils 2.4. As you can see, I've already copied a bunch of stuff, and I'm using this zbuild script. It requires a package directory, a package name, package version, the URL, which when it accesses this, it'll check to make sure. Other than that, it will download. And it has MD5 check. Pre-configuration, we make the directory build. For this, you have to cd into each directory that you want it to do. And as you can see, it is compiling. This will probably take a good 2 to 3 minutes to compile. We could wait, or we could just wait and see. It is rebuilding and rebuilding, as you can see from the configure. Okay, welcome back. It is finished building binutils 2.44 pass 1, and it has taken 68 seconds. Wow, that's not too bad. We're now 5.3 GCC 15.1 pass 1. I have just created my zbuild file with the package dir, package name, version, and URL. Here we have a huge pre-configuration of moving the MPFR, GMP, and the MPC into the GCC directory right here. Of course, make the build directory and prepare, build, and install, and a post for the headers. This extract will take some time because it's extracting the full 15.1 source, and then it will be extracting 3 more files. Okay. Just forgotten to add sources to those 2 tar files GMP. Cleaned up the directories, and we should be good to go for GCC 15.1 pass 1. It's going to take some time to extract, and it has done, and now we'll be compiling. It is now building, and it will probably take a good maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes. Welcome back. We have just finished GCC, and it has taken 798 seconds. As you can tell, the post package here, the cat command here, has executed perfectly, as you can tell with the green stars. If it did not execute perfectly, the green stars would be red to show it that there's an error. And it also has updated the package database, which we'll be deleting when we move into chapter 8, because all these packages will not be needed in the overall install. We're on to version 5.4, installing the Linux kernel API headers. I've just created the zbuild file for this. There's several items that are required for this: the install, the build, and at least these key files, key tags. Save this, and call that 5.4, and that's how we execute the zbuild system. and it's going to extract the Linux kernel files, clean up the thing, and now it's installing the headers. And we're now doing glibc 2.41. This will compile 3 times for each of the libraries. We're compiling the first one of 5.5, which is the 64-bit libraries. After this, we'll be doing a test to make sure these are correct. To begin that, we also have 2 other versions which will compile the M32-bit and the X32-bit libraries. And let's begin. It's going to be extracting and compiling. This should take quite a bit of a while. Back. Put this on. Okay, as you can see, we have finished 288 seconds on the first pass. We'll be doing some tests here. And I'm just going to make a directory here. CD into there. And this will be our logs and everything. Just copy this. Requesting is good. Looks very good there, according to this. That looks good. We have both tools and include. Next one, search lib. This one. Succeeded and to open. And yep. Let's remove this so we can reuse this. Now we're going to be building glibc 32-bit. I've already created the M32, which is my 5.5. .551 M32-bit. It's going to be extracting to a whole new directory, and that's going to keep going for a bit. Okay, we have finished the M32-bit version of this 32-bit. And I believe there is another test here. Let's go. Go into our glibc tests. Do this again. Requesting program interpreter LD Linux SO32. Okay. Just remove those. Now we're going to be building this one here. 5.52, which is the X32-bit. Now recompile MX32. The extracted source can be reused, but I'm extracting glibc from fresh. And we're at 5.52, which I've already created. I edit these in Kate. And there's this pretty much the same thing here. Some tester install and copies over, and there'll be a final test to make sure it got the right file. And we're going to start, and this will probably take another 2-3 minutes. It is still building. It's been going for about 2-3 minutes now. Just going to pause the video until it's finished. Okay, as you can see, we have finished and everything's all complete at 291 seconds. CD into our test and run this test suite. And we have libx32 slash LD Linux x32, which is perfect. Don't have to remove that as this is the end of this section. We'll just have to clean up that glibc test. We don't need that anymore. Build 5.6 lib standard C++ from GCC 15.1. I've already constructed these libc from the actual book instructions right here. And I've already created the file 5.6. As you can see, it is the same version right here. So build 5.6 and let's see if it starts. And extracting right now. It's extracting GCC 15, so it takes a while. And this will probably take quite a bit. Let's see how long. It says only 0.2 SBU. So it should be relatively quick. Okay, after 174 seconds, roughly, 3 minutes, it has completed. And this completes 5.6. We'll be going off to cross-compiling these tools in our next video. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video of episode 1.